This episode of What About Pod brought to you by the Yellow Starburst. Anyone who knows anything knows that the Yellow Starburst is the best.
I'm here, I'm here. Let the bells ring out and the banners fly. Feast your eyes on me. It's too good to be true, but I'm here, I'm here.
Recording live from the WAP studios. Welcome to What About Pod?
Oh, please, what is that? Don't tell me.
The podcast that turns something into nothing and further goes on about nothing.
Don't try and church it up, son.
I'm producer and resident doorstop Jay, along for the ride with your host, Chris Squires.
This is too much. I couldn't be more excited. The thought of it makes me pure completely mental, I must say.
The Yellow Starburst is the best Starburst, clearly.
I beg to disagree.
I figured you would.
Yeah, it's the red. Easily the red or the pink.
Well, that's funny because the whole reason I brought this up is there's a thing on Facebook that says, love is when someone asks for a Starburst and you give them a red one or a pink one.
Wow, no kidding.
So you like the Starburst of love, apparently.
I do. I love Starburst and this color of Starburst love.
I like the yellow Starburst of loneliness. It's so bitter.
The yellow Starburst of bitter beer face.
Yes, it's the yellow Starburst. But that's the funny thing. I like the lemon Starburst, but I don't really like people try to get me to eat like Sour Patch. Anything like super sour, I can't handle it.
Oh, you know that's right. I can't handle that either.
Man.
Yeah, I'm not into eating candy that makes my face shrivel up.
Yeah, or it makes my eyes water just thinking about it.
Yeah. I'm thinking of those cartoons where Tweety makes Sylvester the cat swallow the alum.
Yeah.
And then his face just sucks in.
Yeah. So, all right. So I was watching World Series of Poker earlier.
Okay.
And I hate watching that. There are a few hands within the hour that I actually enjoy watching them play. And generally speaking, it's when both players are bluffing or there's a lot of mind games going on. The other stuff's just kind of pompous. I've been playing poker for so long. It's like I don't get a charge out of it, but yet I still every now and then.
Yeah, I kind of gave up on poker several years ago.
Well, flipping through the dial, though, there's playoff baseball. I don't have a dog in that fight at all, so I'm watching sparing amounts of baseball.
Well, the Dodgers won, so blah.
Keep in mind, I grew up in Albuquerque, and that's the Dukes, and that was the AAA affiliate for the Dodgers. So I was.
This is true.
I wouldn't say I was a massive Dodgers fan, but it's hard not to pay attention and have like a soft spot for them at some level. But anyway, I'm not watching a ton of playoff baseball. I'm not watching.
I'd actually like to see Oakland do it.
I'd like the small market teams by and large. I'm not by any stretch a Red Sox fan. I'm not a Dodgers fan. I guess the Braves are all right. Growing up, that was it.
Well, did you see the Sports Illustrated with the cover of the Upton brothers and Kate Upton?
Oh, no.
Yeah, because you knew that was coming.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
At some point, what happens? They get booted right out of there.
Well,
Kate Upton and baseball doesn't mix because she went out with Justin Verlander.
Yeah, and wrecked his career almost.
Yeah, badmouthed his ass bad. Yeah, he had a down year, obviously, and look what happens. Kate Upton takes a picture with the Upton brothers, and bam, they're out of the playoffs.
Well, it might have a little more to it than that.
Maybe she should get a picture with the LA Dodgers.
That should be next.
Yeah. Kate Upton is a jinx on baseball. I love you, Kate, but
she can start dating Zach Greinke.
Ooh, there you go.
Or Clayton Kershaw.
Sling Blade. That's why I call Zach Greinke Sling Blade.
He is. Yeah, he is.
He looks inbred, man. He's a freak.
All right.
He does, man. He looks mental.
We've lost the reins. I'm going to pull the
We're
horse
off the
up.
tracks.
Pulling the horse
right.
up. All right.
Pull up.
So it's not so much that I was watching World Series of Poker, but there was a commercial that came on ESPN, and I don't know if things we talk about on the podcast just heighten my sensitivity to said things. So when I see them in popular media, I'm just more sensitive. It grabs my attention. Or
way to be general, bro.
Or if people are listening and then taking our freaking ideas and then making them into commercials, because ESPN has a commercial for College Game Day about, being a jackass and getting on camera. They do that show live.
Yes, they do.
And they have those idiots all talking about college football. And then they have anyone who shows up on campus can be in the background, screaming and holding up a sign or whatever. So the commercial was, you can be a star if you just come stand out here like an idiot. But the music that backed the commercial was the theme song to The Greatest American Hero.
No way.
Yes.
No way.
I swear to God,
really?
I have not heard that song until we played it, I have not heard that song. The George Costanza reference that we made in that podcast was Seinfeld in the 90s. I have not heard that song since. I swear I haven't.
I hadn't heard any sign of it either.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and so there it is. And the big rub from the commercial is, believe it or not, it's just me, and I'm in the background of ESPN Game Day, so I'm going to be a star. Or whatever. I don't know, it's stupid.
What about Pod? Shaping world events.
Yes. So if you're in the college game day crowd, just make a What About Pod sign. I mean,
well, first it was Tosh, and now it's college game day.
The Tosh thing I can get a little bit because, that was kind of, that was news. That's a different thing.
But 3 months after the fact.
Well, it might have taken him a long time to talk that guy into being on camera and doing all that crap.
Probably had to pay him.
Oh no, they definitely did. But the kicker there is that happens and it's a coincidence, or it's just, it takes a while to get that going. But the Greatest American Hero theme song, like I said, I have not heard that song in 20 years until
it's a great song.
We picked it up. I feel abused. I feel like we got ripped off a little bit. So
I think it's a compliment. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Well, yeah. We all know that ESPN, if nothing else, does a good job of imitating.
Yes, they do.
So I've been efforting a new Is It or Is It? And I was racking my brain. I'm looking for this or that. It's kind of hard to come up with them.
Well, I hope you didn't blow a fuse, man.
No, I ended up just thinking we need to go back to our roots.
Our roots.
And by that, I mean, perhaps, is it or is it the Redemption Edition? So I'm going to give you
what kind of Redemption Edition?
I'm going to give you a chance to redeem yourself for the one time you lost Is It or Is It?
But I'm doing...
It's time for the game show that forces you to choose between one thing or another thing. Let's play Is It or Is It?
Yeah. Shut up.
Yes, thank you.
Welcome to Is It or Is It, the Redemption Edition. We're going back a few episodes to the one time that producer Jay decided to open his big fat mouth and say, I guarantee you that's right.
I jumped the shark.
I said, are you sure you want to risk your entire... Oh, I'm sure. And yes.
I forgot about the other Wyatt Earp movie. The one that should have been...
The sucky one.
Locked away and burned.
Yes.
Not as soon as they cut it.
Agreed.
Not Tombstone.
Agreed.
Even though it's historically inaccurate. Sue doesn't love Val Kilmer in Tombstone.
Oh, yeah, no. Well, but I mean, at that point, you cover the high points, right? You get the whole Dodge City moving out to Arizona. You get the OK Corral. Yeah. You kind of get...
General overlay.
Right, and I mean, you get little embellishments, all right. I mean, so long as you don't write a book report or a history report on it.
It was pretty embellished. I mean, there are some unforgivable errors in that movie. Well, but Val Kilmer's Doc Holliday.
He was very good. Yeah,
that was epic.
And how he didn't get a supporting actor nomination for that, I'll never understand.
I don't get it either.
Maybe we'll have Is It or Is It Val Kilmer edition, but not today.
Val Kilmer edition of Is It or Is It?
Could
I'd go down in flames in that one.
Could happen.
Yeah.
So we're going to go back to Paxson or Pullman.
Ooh.
Except this time I've made them, I don't want to say they're hard because you might just ace this, but there's a lot of them that I didn't know because I haven't seen some of this stuff. I haven't seen some of the work that these gentlemen have done.
I'm ready and waiting for you, man.
Let's get started with number one.
You got it.
Appeared alongside Paul Giamatti and Topher Grace in the HBO film Too Big to Fail. Is that Bill Pullman or Bill Paxton?
Wow. You did go obscure.
Well, it's not that obscure. There's three big stars
I don't watch
there.
HBO. I'm not talking about the stars. I'm talking about, well, anyway.
HBO's HBO.
Yes, it is.
There's television.
Yeah.
And then there's HBO. Yeah. So Paxton or Pullman, you got a 50-50 shot even if you got a guess.
Yes. I'm going with Bill Pullman.
Hey!
Lucky.
I have not seen Too Big to Fail. I would assume it had something to do with the economic bailout of a few years ago.
The auto industry.
Well, or the
Banks.
banking industry or any of the other industries, not to get political, but all the other ones that are tax dollars went safe.
Okay.
All right. So you are 1 to the good, 0 to the bad, and we move on to number 2.
Number 2.
Which is play the saxophone and, well, definitely played the saxophone in Lost Highway.
Bill Paxton.
Sorry, it's Bill Pullman.
Oh,
you will have to Google, folks at home, you're going to have to Google Lost Highway and the saxophone scene
That was an awesome soundtrack.
Well, you'll just have to
Nine Inch Nails was on there.
You'll have to look it up and see for yourself about our good buddy Bill Pullman and the saxophone.
Bill Pullman.
In Lost Highway. All right, moving on to number 3.
Number three.
Tried to communicate with the dead, as well as his daughter Christina Ricci in Casper. Is that Bill Pullman or Bill Paxton?
That sounds like a Bill Paxton role.
Oh, no. Another Bill Pullman.
Damn.
3 Pullmans in a row.
3 Pullmans. You're pulling the Pullman.
The Pullman's been pulled, and you are down.
Pull the Pullman. Put the Pax.
Holy crap. He's got a chance. I don't want to say the L word, but you've got a chance. You need to pull out of this tailspin with number 4.
Number 4.
Was hunted by both Ice Cube and Ice-T in an abandoned building while searching for hidden treasure in Trespass. Is that Bill Pullman? Is that Bill Paxton?
Paxton. Come on. Bill Paxton. Jesus.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, you suck.
I just want to see you have a stroke. Oh, no.
Oh, God, I just about did. I almost fell out of my chair.
All right, so, dude, I actually saw that movie. It was pretty bad, but yeah.
Okay.
Bill Paxton was in Trespass.
Okay.
So you are now 2-2.
2-2.
2-2 with 3 to go.
Ooh.
Don't fuck it up. Number 5.
Question number 5.
Kicked off the film by flinging himself off the balcony in The Grudge. Is that Bill Pullman or Bill Paxton? Paxton, not Paxton. Paxton.
I thought it was Paxton.
I don't know. Whatever.
Do your research.
Bill Pac-Man. I don't know. I don't care.
Waka.
Well, here, I'll look it up.
It's
click.
Paxton. Paxton.
Bill Pax.
Come on, man. Come on.
Bill Pacston.
No.
All right, back on track. Threw himself off the balcony in The Grudge. Is that Paxton or Pullman?
Paxton.
Oh, no.
Hey.
There's Bill Pullman in The Grudge. I didn't see that movie either. That, I believe, is the horror movie with what's-her-face?
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yes.
It was a Japanese... It was a remake of an old Japanese film.
Very good. So you were familiar with the film, but not...
Somewhat.
Yeah, I didn't see it either.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember the previews for that movie of some weird hand coming out of someone's hair.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I'm going to take a moment, swig a beer, and regroup.
Regroup.
Yes. Regroup.
I don't have any beer.
Refreshed.
I'll grab one when we're done with this. On to question number 6. You realize you have to get this right just to make the 7th question pertinent.
Question number 6. Question number 6.
All right. Well, I don't know which way I want to go with this to make it exciting, but I'll go with this one.
I'm already excited.
Settled in with his 3 wives on HBO's Big Love.
Paxton.
Wow.
Yeah. I saw you going for the buzzer. I'm like...
Well, no, they're right next to each other.
Yeah.
Buzzer and ding. I got to get a smaller screen because you can see everything. I don't work everything off the smaller screen. Anyway. Yes, that was Bill Paxton.
Yes, that one I know. That HBO show I know.
Well, that's...
A little.
All right. Well, enough to know that it's not... That it's Pullman and not Paxton.
Yeah.
All right. So... this is where the drum roll comes because...
Rubber meets the road.
Yes. Eat my rubber. Or, dust? No.
Huh?
I don't know. Number 7.
Question number 7.
Tried to maintain his dignity while being upstaged by a blind, defecating Carmen Electra in Scary Movie 4. Is that Bill Pullman or Bill Paxton? For all the marbles. No pressure.
Pullman.
Hey!
Yes! He's a genius! He's a genius!
He's redeemed himself.
Yeah.
So now you're officially, I'll let you wipe that horrible objection leading to your loss off the table, and we will call you officially undefeated.
Officially undefeated. A mulligan. I was granted a mulligan.
That is it or is it? I think we should probably move on to news. Do we have news?
We do.
From the news studios, it's the What About Pod News, starring Producer Jay, with commentary from the man himself, smartest man in the universe. That's right.
Never gets old.
I know. It's a so what's up on news this week?
The apple of Eminem's eye, Haley Scott, was just crowned homecoming queen of Chippewa Valley High School in Clinton Township, Michigan.
Nice.
Just this last Friday.
Well, good for her. I always wonder when I see celebrity offspring achieving things like voting things. I mean, it's weird. Like, I always thought that they would be, you got two ways to go. If you are the offspring of someone like, even someone like community famous, not just like worldwide famous.
Yeah.
You're either adored or you're hated. I don't think there is like a neutral, I mean, you can't just be ambivalent. You're either hated and you're kind of a stuck-up idiot, or you're just like revered.
Well, here's what stood out to me is how fast time really goes, because you remember when Eminem came out, this was in 1998.
Yep.
He disclosed he had a daughter 2 years old at the time.
Right.
And
she was on that song.
Yeah, she was, exactly. I think my dad's gone crazy.
Right.
That's the one, right?
Yeah.
You want to try that one again?
Oh no, I'm going to cut that one straight out. That's going to go right next to the rah-rah.
Oh my God.
Rah-rah. My dad's gone crazy.
Well, this just served a reminder to me as to how old I've gotten and everybody else has.
Yeah, no, it just gets
that
worse
she's getting crowned homecoming queen, 17 years old. It's amazing. And, of course, Eminem, to his credit, he didn't try to steal the limelight in any way, shape, or form. He actually, he hung out in the background because, to quote, it was her moment and I didn't want to get in the way of that. And that's a real stand-up thing to do, because some celebrities would take Eminem's route, but some, Kris Jenner, for instance, would hog the spotlight.
Well,
yes, Kris Jenner, I'm talking to you.
That's the difference between like a guy who's made his money, right, and has no desire to be, you know what I mean? The Jenners and the Kardashian and all that shit, they're just famous for being idiots, for being
more or
like
less
attention-whoring idiots.
It was the sex tape that got that whole ball of wax rolling for the Kardashians.
Yeah, and it's, it's a shame. But no, but Eminem's got more money than he could ever spend.
I don't know about spend, but
he got a lot of money.
He seems pretty well set.
A lot of,
he's not going to have to play casinos for the next 30, 40 years, I think.
The other thing is, he's
on the twilight of his,
he's not
so-called, of his career.
He's not in the public eye all the time. He's not in that I need to make news all the time. The Miley Cyrus portion of his career, where I'm just going to do whatever I got to do and say whatever I got to say to get my music out there.
But he did that like 13 years ago.
Right, exactly.
Same, almost, well, not the same thing, not wagging the tongue and twerking, but still,
that'd be
still
weird.
Outrageous in his own right. That would be weird, actually.
Yes.
Eminem twerking.
Word to your mother.
That's him, right?
Totally, right? Yeah.
Oh, wrong. Oh, sorry.
Maybe Eminem will go start fixing houses in Amish country.
Yeah, well, that's weird that guy, Rob Van Winkle, good old Vanilla Ice.
That's right.
That guy got so upset with people wanting to, continually time to the Vanilla Ice thing. Dude, I don't care if you're a one-hit wonder or an established musician. If you brought people joy, with something that you did, and they want to be happy to see you as who you are as a performer, who cares? Yeah, I guess you get bitter if you lost all your money or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever. But that's not anybody.
Vanilla Ice lost his shit because he was a dumbass.
But for someone to want an autograph or say, oh, hey, where'd your mother, whatever. Total tangent. You ready for a total tangent? We need to get a sounder that says, total tangent.
And here we go into the total tangent.
I have a friend named Gavin who, when was this?
I had a friend named Gavin.
No, hey, we all know Gavin.
Hey.
We can go to Gavin's Anonymous. I haven't talked to Gavin in 15 years, 10 years. We were kind of the wild children, and his wife didn't really care for me.
Well, you're a peach. Although you have that way.
When you're the running mate of a guy and all you're doing is going out and drinking and getting into trouble, and then you get married or get engaged, I can understand why she didn't like me, just based on what I represented. Anyway, he paid, this was in 2002, maybe? I don't know. I'd have to really sit down and think about it. But There was a Word to Your Mother rhinestone jacket that Vanilla Ice wore on the Arsenio Hall show.
Oh, yeah. Was it that one get-up? He was like red, white, and blue?
Big block. No, it's a black leather jacket with block lettering. It said Word to Your Mother all the way down the back of it. And he bought it at an auction for a lot of money.
Really?
Like $3,800.
Well, Vanilla Ice did have to liquidate his assets.
Well,
Maybe that was one of the
this was like an estate. This wasn't an estate auction. This was like a collector's auction. This was one of the low-end day one sales. Yeah, in Vegas. He bought it for like, I think it's $3,800 he paid for that thing.
That's like getting an autograph from the members of Toto after they play.
Dude, I don't know. I mean, right? If I had the Word to Your Mother jacket, I would wear that thing all the time.
Would you really?
Hell yeah, just to be a dick. You could wear Vanilla Ice's Word to Your Mother jacket.
You could just get a leather jacket and stencil Word to Your Mother on there.
Bedazzle the shit out of it.
Bedazzle the shit out of it, exactly, yeah. There you go. Yeah,
you'd be sitting with a bedazzle for like 6 months.
I know, right? But then when you're done, you could twerk in your homemade Word to Your Mother jacket.
That's not happening.
And go and refurbish Amish houses.
Yeah. So wrap it up. Haley, your dad's not crazy. It sounds like he's all right guy.
He's got his head on straight. And, he obviously raised a very fine young woman. Congratulations on being homecoming queen of Chippewa Valley High School.
Haley Mathers.
Haley Scott.
Oh.
What? She took her Kim's name?
Her Kim's name?
Yeah, her Kim's name, yeah.
Little Kim's name?
Yeah, Little Kim's name, yeah.
Oh, well, all right.
No, she assumed,
Scott Mathers.
Kim Scott.
Kim Scott Mathers.
Kim Scott
Haley Mathers Scott.
Haley Scott Mathers. Scott Mathers Haley.
What's next?
Well, speaking of all things Michigan, there was a bill recently passed called the Michigan Pint Bill, and it mandates that every pint of beer sold in the state has to contain at least 16 ounces of actual beer in the glass.
Well, that's because that's a pint.
Yeah, it's a pint. No, I mean, you can't shortchange it, but it has to be 16 ounces.
Well, first off, a pint glass is a pint glass, right? So you need to be within a little bit of the top of the pint glass.
Yes.
But any other glass, first off, weird we're even talking about this. I forgot that. Did you know that on the red Solo cups, those lines, the ridges in the glass,
right,
actually mean something.
What do they mean?
I'm going to find it. I'm going to get my,
And I will go on with the news?
Yes, I will tell you. So continue with your story. Sorry to interrupt.
Okay. The problem was, pint, obviously, in a bar is used rather liberally. Apparently. So you get a pint of beer, okay? It's a term rather than a volume of measurement, which is what it is. And they want to get back to that, using it as the volume of measurement rather than the actual term.
Why don't we just use the metric system? Let's just have a vote.
Why don't we just go to the metric system? Why not get it over with?
So I think
everybody else in the world does it.
I think we'll just run for office, right? And we'll just become co-presidents of the United States. And
co-presidents.
Yeah, why not?
I like the sound of it.
I don't care.
Okay.
I'm not hung up on who's going to be the boss and who's the second boss in case the first boss dies, and we both be the boss. Anyway.
How did that go?
Yes. 7. So, adopt the metric system and get rid of frickin' daylight savings. Done and done. Those will be the only two things I do. I won't wage war on anybody. I'm not going to try and screw up healthcare or welfare or any other crap. I'm going to get into office. I'm going to get on the metric system, get rid of daylight savings. Because the stupid clock setting back and forth twice is stupid. And if you ever see my license plate, you'll get it. Yeah, we need to get the squeezing on. All right, so I had the PA look up Solo Cup, right?
Yeah.
The very little bottom ridge, or the very bottom of the cup before the cup blossoms outward and upward.
Blossoms.
Yes.
Like a flower.
Yeah, like a big red plastic
drunken flower.
That is 1 ounce. So if you're pouring a drink,
that's a shot.
That's a shot. So you bingo bango.
Yep.
You got your ounce, you got your ice, you got your whatever you want to mix. Done. The 5 ounce mark is the first one, the first line up the glass.
Yes.
That is 5 ounces is usually a glass of wine.
Correct.
Or what is measured as a glass of wine. Then up from there, you have the 12 ounce line.
Which is obviously beer.
Which is usually a can of beer. And then
Can O.
And I believe the next line up is 16. So that may be a pint? I don't know.
I would imagine.
But 12 is, so yeah, the little lines on those red Solo cups actually mean something. They're not just there for decoration or ribbed for her pleasure.
Ooh. Oh my.
Oh my. Where's George Takei?
Well, going back to the story, the Detroit Free Press, they reported that some bar owners were serving beer in 14-ounce pint glasses, which is
fraud.
An oxymoron, if
fraud,
you will.
yes.
Because a pint is 16 ounces, it's a 14-ounce pint. I mean, that's...
Well, that's like the half gallon of ice cream that's no longer a half gallon.
Right.
It looks like a half gallon, but it's just a little bit freaking smaller. They gotta screw out every penny they can. No, what a bunch of dicks.
Assholes.
Oh, hey, look, it's a half gallon, but it's not really, well, sorry, we changed what that means. It's not a pint, it's 14 ounces. It's a 14-ounce pint.
Well said.
Dicks. Holy shit. Sorry.
Oh!
Look at your beer.
What do we got?
Belgian bunch of cocksuckers.
Belgian bunch of cocksuckers.
Look at your beer. 11.
Oh, no.
Stella Artois, you're on my shit list.
11.2
ounces in this bottle.
No.
Mm-hmm.
That is just not right.
What this means is I need to go to an actual watering hole where they actually serve pints.
16-ounce pints.
Although
as opposed to the 14.
You know, drinking out of a bottle at home is still cheaper.
This is true.
Even with 11.2 ounces. Because who drinks that last 0.8 of an ounce anyway? It gets a little dreggy, a little,
I do.
Backwashy.
Finish it up.
I don't know.
Be a champion. Finish the whole thing.
Oh, I finished.
It's your backwash.
I finished.
What the hell should it matter?
I finished many of the my own things.
Yes,
probably,
you do.
Probably too many.
You're a closer.
I'm
you finish things.
I finish things.
That's right.
So what's next?
Did you know that flipping a coin does not guarantee you 50-50 odds? So you can't call heads or tails and have a guarantee to be 50% all the time.
All right. So I knew this. This is why I brought it up. And did you know that if you're ever going to get in a coin flip, if you ever want a fair, quote unquote, coin flip, never let that dude catch it and slap it on his hand.
What's wrong with that? I do that all the time.
You can manipulate, if you practice, you can manipulate the way you flip a coin depending on what side is up to start with. If you catch it and then slap it on your hand.
But you don't move your hand.
No, not at all. But if you start it, I'm not going to tell the world how to do this. I might tell you off the air, but I'm not going to tell everyone this.
Trade secrets.
Yes, there is a way to do it that you can make the tails come up probably 70% of the time.
80% of the time, actually.
Well, that's if you spin it.
Yeah.
Right.
But which gets to the story here. If you spin the penny, it has an 80% chance of landing tail side up because the head of the penny
is heavy.
Weighs heavier than the other side.
The head of the penny is heavier than the tail.
Head.
Anyway, so back to my suggestion is if you're ever going to have like a coin flip that means anything, have it flip and land on a surface because then you get an extra bounce, so to speak,
right.
And it like double randomizes.
So you just flip the coin and then you just let it fly on the pool table, let's say.
Yeah, if you're doing well, pool table's a perfect example because you get that extra, you get the inertia off the pool table and basically it's a second flip.
Right.
Far, far harder to manipulate. So if you're going to bet a lot of money on a coin flip, because, I know people are just sitting around tables saying, hey, let's bet $100 on a coin flip. Sick bastards. Go to Gamblers Anonymous.
Get help.
Make sure it lands on a table. Or just play quarters. That's at least a game of skill.
Hey, there you go.
Game of skill.
I used to be good at quarters.
I didn't.
Not anymore.
No, I haven't played quarters in a long time.
I did it like 3 years ago, and I sucked.
Well, hey, at least you're still out there trying.
I did.
You saw that one coming.
I totally saw it coming. Yeah. Are we done with news?
I think we're done with news.
No way.
Well, we're actually not quite done with news. Don't you have a cat story this week?
I have a cat story.
Oh, boy. It's time for Producer Jay's Cat Story of the Week.
I'm just bobbing my head. It's a shame you got to cut it off so soon. I could have done that for another 30 seconds.
Well, I could re-loop it. What's our cat story of the week?
Well, you think petting your cat's pretty good, soothing, stress relieving kind of thing to do, right?
Petting the kitty's always been good for me.
Yes, I love petting the kitty myself.
So please continue.
Yes. Did you know that your cat may not like it?
Shocking.
Well, it actually could stress the cat out. Apparently, researchers from Britain, Brazil, and Austria They examined the levels of some stress hormones in cats that lived alone, in pairs, or in small groups, and they found that the anxiety levels for cats actually go up when you pet them.
Then what did cats go home and pet? Well, they just have no outlet. Cats go into their little cat habitat or whatever and just sit there and grouse, I guess. What is a cat pet? Not a mouse. It'd eat a mouse.
I'm guessing it uses its tongue to
pet itself.
Pet itself.
And
yes.
That relieves stress in us all.
That's right.
I think we've learned an important lesson today.
Yes. If only we could do that.
Well,
that'd be great.
And we would never leave the house. And so would be the 26th episode of What About Pod, and there would be no more.
And one more factoid going out of the news here.
Yeah.
I would strongly advise cat owners to help alleviate their furry little friend's stress levels by letting the cat just be in control of the environment.
Aren't they anyway? Cats are
more or less, more or less. Let the cat tear up the drapes. Let the cat just barf everywhere. Let the cat go through your garbage.
Hey, you're
if it wants to play in the garbage disposal, tell the cat to knock itself out.
Turn it on.
Yeah, just turn it on. Exactly.
No.
Nope. What About Pod does not condone the cruelty of felines.
No, especially not in in the garbage disposal.
Yeah, that's mean.
Put them in the trash compactor. It's much better. I think that's it.
I agree. It's quick and painless.
Are we done with Cat Story of the Week?
We are. Sweet.
So, Jay, as we close every week, do you have vocal pauses this week?
Ready to go.
Hit it.
Guys, what's ideas?
It sounds like the world's most retarded train.
Yeah, what I did was I found, I put together 2 minutes worth and I compressed it into 30 seconds.
Oh,
by using the fast talker setting.
Ah.
Yeah.
Is that Adobe Audition?
That would be Adobe Audition.
Adobe Audition.
And I had enough for a good 3 or 4 vocal pauses on there.
Well, yeah.
And I just crammed them all into one. It was awesome.
We always try and give you the most bang for your buck.
That's right.
For listening to our little podcast. By the way.
Because we care.
And I guess we can toot our own horn. Toot, toot.
Yeah. Toot, toot, toot. Honk.
Got some interesting news last week that we have been nominated for People's Choice and for Best Comedy for the Podcast Awards, which I'd never heard of, but
I never heard of either.
This is the 9th year, and they do it at it's not a podcasting convention per se, it's an electronic media convention in Las Vegas, because that's where every convention is.
Okay. Well, do we need to go to the Ukraine and go on Ukraine's Got Talent?
No, because I don't have the pole moves anymore. I gave those
Not
up.
anymore. Yeah. You could really work a pole back in the day.
I'm not going to do hamster style anymore.
What a shame.
Anyway, so yeah, we've been, just know that we will be campaigning for votes here before too long. I think it's the nomination phase. I believe it's podcastawards.com.
I believe so.
You can you can still go on there and nominate us if you'd like to, and that'd be very, very nice of you.
And if you don't nominate us, well, may God have mercy on your soul.
No, that's fine with me.
Actually, yeah.
But
or not, we don't care.
If we make it into some sort of voting stage, you can bet your ass I'm going to call in every freaking favor on Facebook for every cute baby I've ever voted for every band I've ever voted for all the stupid crap you people make me do. I don't ask much, but I'm going to ask you to vote.
They don't make you do a thing.
Well,
you get guilt into it, then you do it.
Vote
because you don't want to disappoint him. It's a psychology thing.
Vote for my baby in the Cute Baby Award. He's going to win a $1 million scholarship. All
yeah.
Right. Well, I'll vote.
Actually, I did that one time. I voted for my cousin's best wedding. They were up against like 12 other couples.
Right. I voted for like a picture thing. I voted for that.
Yeah, like best picture or something.
I voted for all this crap, so you people are going to have to pay up.
And you know what? He doesn't even talk to me on Facebook. Really, Tom?
See?
Really?
Tom, you're going to be voting for the podcast.
I'm telling you. Go find your Japanese koi garden and meditate. I don't need you.
It's really good that no one listens to this part of the show.
That's right.
Once we get out of news, it's pretty much just dead air.
Actually, I thought they got out way before news.
Yeah, right. Fourth question of is it or is it? Yeah.
Before that, I'd say,
Baxter.
how do you do, Chris?
Good. How are you? Good. Click.
Click.
No, we actually are. Our Stitcher completion rate is still ridiculously high. So thanks for listening yeah.
Thank you guys and girls and animals.
Thank you, farm animals, for listening on Stitcher.
That's right.
I think
we've cornered the sheep demographic and the cat demographic.
No, the goat demographic from the news.
Ooh, there you go.
Duct tape and goats.
That's right. Kinky goats.
Yum. Let's get out of here.
Yes.
Hey, that means we're going to get the hell out of here.
Really?
Generally speaking. So,
okay.
For Producer Jay, this is Chris saying thanks for listening, and until next time, later.
Meow, 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 meow.
You've been listening to What About Pod, a part of the Mix Media Network. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at WhatAboutPod. We're also on iTunes and Stitcher. Download the Stitcher app today on Android or Apple platforms. This show brought to you by the Bolivian Coast Guard and Cher's Upper Lip. Until next time, Palazzo Rapster.